Tonight on News 3 New Mexico, we have updates on who qualifies for the vaccine in Texas.
And is this windy weather here to stay? Find out in my full weather forecast.
And we will also have a special interview with head Greyhound football coach Kelly Lee. News 3 New Mexico starts right now.
This is News 3 New Mexico, your local source for news, sports, and first weather.
Good evening and welcome to News 3 New Mexico. I'm Marilyn Upchurch. Texas updated who is eligible to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. The Commission of the Texas Department of State Health Services informed vaccine providers across the state that a federal directive immediately expands vaccine eligibility to include those who work in pre-primary, primary, and secondary schools, as well as Head Start and Early Head Start programs. It also included those who are licensed child care providers. The change came after President Joe Biden used pharmacy guidelines to prioritize educators on the vaccination lists. The Indian Affairs Department announced broadband internet for the Pueblo of Jemez has gone live. The data center will deliver high-speed broadband internet to over 500 households in the Pueblo beginning this week. It has taken 5 years of planning, and due to the pandemic, it became an immediate need. With help from the state and the CARES Act, it was made possible for the people of the Jemez Pueblo to now have access to internet for school, work, healthcare, and to stay connected to the world. Well, Scott, I am sad to say that I think it's going to be pretty windy this weekend, which New Mexico, it's always windy. What do you have for us?
Yeah, you know, Marilyn, unfortunately, you are correct this time. Shocker, New Mexico is going to be windy once again. So if we take a look over at our satellite for our wind speeds, going into Saturday around 1 a.m., we can see that there is not a lot going on around our state. Wind speeds of about 10 to 15, even 20 miles per hour down in Alamogordo, Socorro, Albuquerque, places like that. However, once we jump into about Saturday around 5 p.m., we can see that the entire state starts to light up with wind speeds of about 10 to 15 miles per hour. And then wrapping it up on Saturday at 5 p.m., we can still see that these wind speeds will be consistent. All right, back to Marilyn at the desk.
This week, the Supreme Court made it harder for undocumented immigrants who have lived in the United States for a long time fight deportation. This occurred after a 5-3 ruling in a case where illegal immigrant Clemente Pereira had been living in the U.S. for 25 years and used a fake Social Security card to get a job as a janitor. Because he pled no contest for attempted criminal impersonation, the lower courts ruled that the crime was moral turpitude and under state law and was enough to trigger deportation. When he tried to appeal the deportation because of how it affected his son, who is a U.S. citizen, and the rest of the family, the Attorney General was not able to grant him any special favors because his crime was categorized as moral turpitude under state law. Governor Greg Abbott may have chosen to end the mask mandate, but Texas schools will make the call as to what their mask policies will be. In light of the tough decision, the Texas Education Agency hasn't given schools any guidance other than telling local schools it's up to them to decide if they want students and educators to mask up. Schools have until Wednesday, March 10th to make that decision. We'll have full weather with Scott after the break, but first, here's a look at today's financial markets.
Welcome back, Eastern New Mexico. This is Scott Haas, and this is your full weather forecast. So, taking a look at our satellite and radar, we can see that there's quite a bit going on around the country. However, it is pretty spread out. So, if we take a look over into the West Coast, we can see that states such as Oregon and Washington and the very tip of California are all getting hit with some precipitation. All right. And what does that mean for New Mexico? Unfortunately, not a whole lot. As we look into the west half of the state, we can see that there's not too much going on, but we can be expecting those wind speeds of 10 to 15 miles per hour. All right, and then taking a look down into the southeast, we can see that we have the back door, or a wind front that is coming through the back door of our state from Texas that is going to start pushing wind our way as well as dropping the temperatures down. All right, so speaking of those wind speeds, we can see that the state is covered in about 10 to 15 mile per hour winds. Moving into Saturday around 6 o'clock, we can see that the state is still pretty spread out as far as wind speeds go at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Taking a look down into the southwest, we can see that there's about 20 to 30 mile per hour wind. All right. And then wrapping it up on Sunday, we can see that the entire eastern side of New Mexico is covered in that 10 to 15 mile per hour wind, as well as it's scattered throughout the entirety of the state. All right, so let's take a look at some of those current temperatures. In Raton, we can expect to see 51, 53 in Clayton, and 57 down in Tucumcari. Going to the Four Corners, we can see 60 in Farmington, 59 in Gallup, and 65 down in Socorro. And then taking a look down into southeastern New Mexico, 52 in Clovis, 52 in Portales, and 59 down in Roswell. Let's take a look at some of tonight's lows. 32 in Farmington, 24 in Gallup, and 30 in Santa Fe. 37 in Clayton and 24 in Raton. Going to southeastern New Mexico, we can see 33 in Clovis, 34 in Portales, and 34 down in Hobbs. All right, so let's take a look at tomorrow's highs, So 64 in Farmington, 63 in Gallup, and 60 in Santa Fe. 65 in TRC, 61 in Silver City, and then 68 in Las Cruces. Taking a look at tomorrow's highs in the southeast, we can expect to see 62 in Clovis and Portales and 60 down in Roswell. All right, so let's take a look at our 7-day forecast for Carlsbad, New Mexico. We can see on Saturday and Sunday it'll be in the mid-60s but fairly sunny. On Monday it'll be going up to 78. On Monday, 84 and cloudy. Wednesday will be sticking around the 80 range, and on Thursday we can be expecting 76, dropping the temperature on Friday to 67. All right, now taking a look at the 7-day forecast in our lovely city of Portales, we can see that on Saturday and Sunday, 62 and 66 with mostly sunny skies, 75 on Monday, and then jumping up to 80 degrees on Tuesday, sticking around 76 on Wednesday with quite a bit of wind. Thursday and Friday, we can expect 71 on Thursday with a little bit of cloud coverage, and dropping the temperature down to 55 on Friday.
Well, Scott, I think it's safe to say that New Mexico has some crazy weather. We go from hot to cold to hot again, but I'm glad to see that it warms up a little bit next week. Thank you so much for that update, and we'll be back with more news after the break. More relief is coming your way for personal income and for business owners in New Mexico, along with the $200 million in small business grants. Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham signed a bill yesterday that will, quote, deliver a $600 personal income tax rebate to hundreds of thousands of frontline and low-wage workers, provide for a 4-month tax holiday for food and beverage businesses hit especially hard by the economic effects of the pandemic, and make up to $500 million available to New Mexico small businesses seeking loans at a discounted borrowing rate, end quote. The governor said in the press release, "We have provided hundreds of millions in unemployment support and now direct rebates for the frontline workers who have continued to show up to support themselves and their families." For more details on this bill, you can visit governor.statenm.us. If you've ever wanted to turn an old bus into an RV, you may want to check out this next story. This week, I spoke with Kat Stevens, a lady who runs Heyday LBK, a really unique and fun way to visit the Lubbock area. If you search for a unique stay in Lubbock, Heyday LBK may pop up. Most Airbnbs are houses, but Heyday offers something different.
Basically, we have it set up, not every host does it this way, but ours is open all the time, and we have it set up where you can instant book. So if you're already on Airbnb as the type of person that has the credentials, like I think it requires your driver's lessons and things like that, then you can instant book our bus at any time. For my love of meeting people and hospitality, it sort of puts, I think Airbnb is that total package of being able to be involved in other people's travel stories and their journeys. So it's a lot of fun. Even though we're not traveling with them, we feel like we're a part of their journey. I've been an entrepreneur for a long time. I've had other businesses, but I've always wanted to do something that housed multiple passions of mine. And I think that does that because I love design, I love remodeling, and I love hospitality, I love travel, I love meeting people.
During COVID, new cleaning measures have been put in place, and Stevens says business has been good.
I think it is a good scenario, especially because you're not going to have a lobby full of people if you're at a hotel, or you're not going to be sharing shared space. Like you're out here, you're by yourself, you're out in the open. We do have chickens out here, so we offer farm fresh eggs from our chickens. We have a cooktop set up and everything where you can cook your eggs. We always have water. And then we have gourmet coffee from a coffee company called Lucky Boston Coffee. Again, like I said, we're trying to get people to unplug and do a little, kind of an old school vibe out here. It is called Heyday, just kind of a throwback. There's board games, just an opportunity for you to just slow down and relax in this busy world that we live in.
The bus doesn't move for guests. It's on a semi-permanent spot and houses up to 3 people. Heyday plans to add more to their business.
Now we're in the process of actually, this is a family farm that we have out here. We're converting a house out here. We're going to rent that on Airbnb as well. And then we bought a 1969 tour bus, and that's our next bus project. We plan on adding other vintage trailers out here, like an Airstream. And the goal is to just have a whole area out here where people can either stay together, they can stay as a group, a family reunion, or you can just individually have trailers that you're staying in, and you may or may not see people around you, but still be separated. So that's our long-term goal. That's what we're working on, and hoping to be able to do a lot more of that this year now that it's not 2020 anymore, and getting some things going where we had some projects that were halted last year. But we're really excited about the future of this.
The City of Lubbock has completed its multi-step certification and training process to become one of the 150 film-friendly communities in Texas. Lubbock is now a destination for film, television, commercial animation, visual effects, and video game production. The Texas Film Commission has attracted $1.66 billion in local spending and created more than 157,000 production jobs across the state of Texas from 2007 to 2020. The certification will create jobs for Texas-based crew members and local residents. For cast, crew, and digital media job opportunities in Texas, you can visit the link at the bottom of the screen. New Mexico counties are trying to climb the governor's now red to turquoise framework to start opening back up. The High Plains are doing a great job and already have 2 counties reach to the turquoise level. Take a look at the number of cases in eastern New Mexico counties this week. Since Monday, Quay, DeBaca, Harding, Union counties reported no new cases this week. Roosevelt and Guadalupe only reported 2 new cases, but Lee, Curry, and Chavez were all reporting double-digit numbers, with Eddy County at the highest of 41 cases. For a full look at the cases in your area, you can visit cv.nmhealth.org. The next update to the governor's red to green health order is expected to be next week. After a successful landing, SpaceX's futuristic Starship exploded. The prototype soared more than 6 miles Wednesday after lifting off from southern Texas. It descended horizontally and then flipped upright just in time to land. The bullet-shaped rocket ship remained intact, but soon afterward, the Starship exploded and was hurled into the air by force. 2 previous test flights crash-landed in fireballs. Elon Musk, the founder of SpaceX, plans to use Starships to send people to the moon and Mars. After the break, we'll be back with high school sports highlights. On Wednesday, we were able to report that high school sports are back in New Mexico. Landry Senna has some highlights from last night's volleyball game that took place in Portales.
Hello sports fans, it's Landry Senna here to bring you some of the highlights from last night's volleyball matchup between the Portales Rams and Clovis Wildcats. The Wildcats will get this match started as they send the ball over, and some miscommunication from the Rams gives the point to Clovis. The Rams quickly respond and they'll use the free ball. That's number 7 Reagan Courtney with the kill. On this next play, Clovis tips it over and a weak side set gives the kill to number 13. That's Rebecca Courtney with the point. Here we see the ball set again to the weak side. This time it's a kill for the Wildcats. That's number 7 Skylar Jordan. After this serve, it's a textbook play from the Rams as a perfect pass and set gives Kinsey Davis a wide open look for the kill. Davis has the serve on this next play, and the Wildcats will switch it up again with another weak side kill from number 14, Malia Rutledge. This is the last play of the first set, and an out-of-bounds hit leaves the Rams up 1-0 with the score at 25-7. Starting off the second set, the Rams bring the heat as number 11, Kylie Payton, uses the over-the-net pass and puts it down. The Wildcats try to get something going on this next play, and the Rams try to pick it up but can't get to the ball quick enough. They try to respond with a kill from Davis on the strong side, but a block from the Wildcats sends it back to the Rams. It's Payton that immediately gets revenge on this next play, and a kill from the middle leaves the Wildcats scrambling. It's a back-and-forth game now, and Payton's next attempt is blocked again by the Wildcats. A free ball on this next play sets the Wildcats up for success as number 6 Casey Cabledew gets the kill. The Rams respond on the weak side, and Terrace Rippey causes the Wildcats to shank it out of play. A tough serve from the Wildcats causes the Rams to pass it over the net, and middle blocker Kiara Cox uses it to her advantage. The Rams close out the second set here, and Davis finds the open spot. The Rams are now up 2-0 with the score at 25-18. The Rams get it going in this third set, and a kill from Courtney puts them up on the board. Riley Schilling has an ace up her sleeve as her serve causes some confusion in the Wildcats' back row. The Rams back at it with the textbook offense. There's Davis with another kill to add to her stats. Both teams having to adjust here, and it's the Wildcats' free ball that finds a hole on the Rams' side. The Wildcats have it set up now. A pass and a set are perfect for Cabledew as she gets another kill. And here's Cabledew again, who can't get enough of these assists from her teammates. She'll add another kill to her stats. The Wildcats really trying to come back in this third set, finding every hole on the Rams' side. But it's just not enough as this missed serve on game point leaves the Rams with a victory 3-0 win over the Wildcats.
Eastern New Mexico University's football coach, Kelly Lee, announced he will be leaving the Greyhounds to coach and AD in Brownsville, Texas. News 3's Kitana Sapiga spoke with him about his time at Eastern.
This morning, I got the chance to speak with Coach Lee, and we went down memory lane. We discussed what brought him to Eastern, what he's learned from his time here, as well as some of his favorite moments from his 8 seasons as a Greyhound.
A friend of mine, Josh Lynn, who we GA'd together, took the head coaching job and asked me to come along. And it was a great opportunity to return to Eastern, where we had a lot of great memories and friends, and came along with him. And we had some fantastic success, and it was a great experience.
He mentioned that the community here is what makes Eastern so unique and worthwhile, and that battling adversity together is something he is going to miss.
What makes Eastern special are the people, and those relationships, whether it's the colleagues you work with, the administration you work with, but most importantly, the players and coaches that you work with every day. And I think those, going through some adversity with each other and battling uphill battles against the great competition in the Lone Star Conference, it's a bond that you share and you wear as a badge of honor, and it's been really rewarding and something I'll really miss.
Over time, Coach Lee has grown as a coach and learned a thing or two.
Well, I think when you first start, you've got a vision and you're working so hard to get that vision and get things turned around, learning to enjoy the process every day and those relationships. And it's not always the destination, but the journey, and really appreciating that journey.
To say Coach Lee will be missed is an understatement. Him and his family are grateful for the relationships they have made here, and they want to share their gratitude with the Eastern community.
I just want to thank all the players and coaches that we've worked with and all the support. And my family was just honored to have this time in the program and be a part of it for the past 8-9 years. It's been a true honor, and I'm always going to be a Greyhound and be a Greyhound fan. I just really appreciate the opportunity to play our role in the history of Greyhound athletics and Greyhound football history.
For News 3 New Mexico, I'm Kitana Sapinga.
We'll have updates on the search for a new head football coach as they become available. Stay tuned for one last weather update with Scott after the break. Well, Scott, I don't really have too many plans this weekend in the outdoors, but I'm hoping that it's going to be pretty sunny, but I know it's going to be pretty windy. What do you have for us?
So that assumption is right, Marilyn. We can be expecting a pretty sunny, pretty windy weekend. But I did want to talk about the lows first. So if we take a look at our future lows, we can see that backstorm cold front from Texas is actually starting to affect the temperatures around 11 tonight, as we can see 27 in Clovis, 29 in Portales, and 32 down in Hobbs. All right. And as we look towards our weekend, we can see in Carlsbad, we can expect to see 64 on Friday with some clouds. On Saturday, it'll be about 60, also cloudy, and then sunny on Sunday at 63. All right. And then moving into Portales, we can see on Friday, it'll be 64 and cloudy. Same deal, 60 and cloudy on Saturday, and then sunny 63 on Sunday. All right, and that is all the weather I have for you guys today. Back to Marilyn at the desk.
That is all the news we have. Thank you so much for watching.